T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Mac and Chuck Podcast, starring your hosts, Scott McAfee and Chuck Day. Special guest, Owl Hollow Farms.
Good evening. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing tonight?
How many days left?
How many days left till the end of the year?
Yeah.
Too many.
4's too many?
4 is too many. I'm really glad to be getting it done here soon, though.
Can we bring some dynamite out and make a fake 2020? Boom!
I don't know. That's funny right now. You know.
No, that's hilarious.
Well, we need to do something for sure. At least something's got to happen. Hey guys, welcome to the show tonight. We definitely appreciate you coming on and watching us. We've got quite a few things going on tonight. Got quite a few people going on. Hi, Angie. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Jenny. Glad to see you guys have joined us. Thank you so much. Huh?
Is this just turned into a romper room? I see Billy and Nancy.
Hi. So, yeah, welcome to the show, guys. We're going to be touching base tonight with Kathy and I think maybe Bob from Owl Hollow Farms. It's a nonprofit out in the area. She's going to tell us a little bit about what they do and give us some great ideas about what to do during COVID period right now, that we can just kind of get out of our house and enjoy some outdoor time. And then also just to kind of help I believe some kids in need, but she's going to help us fill out that a little bit and talk a little bit. And then we're going to talk a little bit tonight about, well, how Christmas has been and just what the, how was your Christmas, Matt?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
You know, as I'm sure you can relate to, sharing kids with the ex. Once you send it back, you just sit there and you've got the rest of the night just to reflect on everything. And then, you had some spirits to it, and,
nice and quiet.
Start reflecting, and then you're like, I should probably go to bed.
Those spirits help with the bedtime, don't they?
They do. They really do.
I think Ebenezer Scrooge may disagree with you on that, but it's a different kind of spirit I think we're talking about tonight.
Yeah. Protoplasm versus alcohol.
True. So mine was okay. I've got I'm spending Christmas with my kids this evening after the show. We're going to get together and exchange some gifts, and I think we're going to eat some pizza. We may get some Mexican. I'm not sure yet.
Whatever you do, don't get a garlic crust. Good Lord.
Well, I'm not going to be kissing on anybody tonight.
I don't care. It melts the hair off your face.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's rough.
Stay away from the garlic crust, people, according to Mr. Mac over here.
Yes, please.
So, we're looking forward to hearing. We'd love for you guys to tell us how your Christmas went. Drop some comments in the line. And then we're going to also just kind of give you an idea of what we've dealt with this past year. I mean, I know that 2020 has been a tough year for everybody. But since Mac and I started the podcast, we've had our own ups and downs and challenges. And yeah, I know that's putting it lightly. But I think we might have it all nailed down now, to be honest with you. We've, double cross your fingers and keep throwing those prayers up for us, folks. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we're going to talk just about what's coming in the upcoming year, just some ideas that Mac and I have kicked around and tossed around a little bit. So I think with that said, Mac, any businesses you want to kind of throw out there tonight?
No, but I think you do.
Yeah, honestly, here's what I'm going to say. And regardless of your political beliefs or whatever, just, take it for what it is. But Granite City does have I guess it's technically Pontoon Beach, has got a new Mexican restaurant called Tres Hermanos, I believe. And I have not been there yet.
You know what that stands for?
I believe it's three brothers.
Very good.
Yeah.
You did pay attention.
Hey, I did first
did.
semester anyway. Second semester,
Not so
not so much. So we got Trace Hermanos that's going on there. Want to give a special thank you to DJ Whiteout over here on the engineer board tonight.
Yo.
And he's we've got him on the mic too. So he's got his own mic. We've got his mic working nice and well this week. So
Yo-Yo, is that what you got in for Christmas?
Yo-Yo, he's not supposed to know that yet.
It better be a Duncan.
Hey, it's a cheap Christmas. What can I say? You know,
It's a COVID Christmas.
it's a COVID Christmas. I'm surprised it wasn't like a Hallmark movie this year. You know, welcome to a very COVID Christmas.
Yeah, well, there's not much of a happy ending you can spin on that right now. So it would be Hallmark or Lifetime Christmas.
Lifetime, yeah.
Without a happy ending. So you really can't spin that yet. So that's probably why you haven't seen one.
You mean the busy city girl doesn't, you know, come to back home to the farm and finds the guy with COVID and like nurses him
Runs
through it,
away
and
from him because
it's a
she's gonna
Christmas
get it too?
miracle?
Yeah, no.
No, she's had the vaccine.
Oh, no, it hasn't come out yet to
Well,
normal people.
Okay, that's right. To normal people.
Wait till next year.
Next year. All right. Gotcha. All right. Well, like we mentioned earlier, we've got a special guest on tonight. We always like to feature some kind of small business, some kind of small organization or something along those lines. We have Kathy from Owl Hollow Farms, and we're going to bring her on right now, and she's just going to let us know what they've got going on over there.
Looking forward to it. Let's go.
Kathy, are you with us?
Yep, I'm here.
Hello.
All right. There she is. Looks like you got Bob with you tonight too, right?
I do. Bob's right
Good
here.
evening.
Bob's got the coffee. He's looking comfy.
Hey,
I'm relaxing with my coffee.
You see?
nice. Now, see, I can't drink coffee this late anymore. Used to when I was a young lad, I could drink coffee, but man, not anymore. I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, well, we're very young. So.
Yeah,
I see that.
I see that. Yeah.
You're not.
No, I'm not.
it's decaf too, so.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go.
And
Awesome.
we're laughing. So, anyway. What do you want me to tell you about Owl Hollow Farm?
Kathy, why don't you just kind of start about how you guys got started and just kind of what the mission was, and then just tell us a little bit about like what you guys do specifically. I know you're an equestrian farm, and then let us know a little bit about how you know people can come visit you guys, what makes it safe for COVID and just safe for this time of year.
Well, in 2010, we decided to start this program, and I would have never thought it would have gone the way it went, but we applied for a nonprofit in September, and by January 11th, we had our nonprofit status.
Oh, nice.
It never goes that fast for anyone. I was
Right.
told it'd be 3 years, so 3 months I was like, wait a minute. Anyway, in the last 10 years, we have served about 150 kids a year.
50, you said?
Huh?
Did you say 50 kids a year?
150.
150. Okay. All right. I'm glad I clarified that.
We see children of all walks of life. We're not restricted to kids on an autism spectrum, although we do see a lot of those. That's probably our main focus. We really thrive with those kids and strive with them to help them. Horses do amazing things for kids on the spectrum. You would not believe it. If you watched it, you would be stunned.
Nice. Hey, Kathy, can you hold on 1 second for me?
Sure.
Hey, DJ, is there a way we can get them in the bigger window there?
Yes, the guests. Get them in the big window. Minimize mine if you have to, please.
Put me in a big window. Great.
Nope, that's me. There we go.
Attaboy.
All right.
Okay, thanks. I needed a big window, I guess. Anyway, we see those kids. It's set up 9 weeks at a time, and
Okay.
they come 1 hour a week for 9 weeks. They pay a nominal fee. We were free for the first 9 years, and then we decided we had to do a service fee just because we couldn't keep going. I mean, nonprofit means nonprofit. It's
Okay.
hard to get. It's hard to get funding, and especially for horses. Anything to do with horses, it's a risk. People don't want to fund it. But anyway, we see those kids for 9 weeks, and we run 2 sessions like that. We used to run 3, but now we do 2. We kind of cut out the hot part of the summer, which is July and we miss so many sessions because it's just too hot for kids to go on a horse. So, all that being said, we have two seasons. We have spring and fall, and we don't really do anything this time of year except for kids that usually are on the spectrum that have come here for years, repetitive, and we will let them come out and spend some time with the horse that they are most comfortable with, simply because sometimes they just need to connect with that horse to get their bearings and be able to go through school, especially when they're doing school the way they're doing it right now. It's
Right.
so hard for kids.
Right. Well, we've been up for such a long time. I mean, these kids need some kind of outlet. You know, they need something to do outside and burn off some of that energy.
And we make everyone wear masks. That's part of our restrictions in Jackson County. Everyone has to wear a mask. It doesn't matter if you're outside or not. You know, and we have hand sanitizers and hand wash and all those kind of things just to keep everything very sanitary, very safe.
Sure.
As we might mention, when we set this nonprofit up, we tried to capture the kids that fell out of the coverage with health insurance. There are some programs that bill health insurance. They deal with a particular population that falls within the defined coverage of their insurance, some form of equine therapy. But we were trying, there were so many different categories of kids. Kathy's mentioned kids on the autism spectrum. They're not routinely covered by health insurance. So
Right.
we were trying to capture a group of kids. Now, they don't have to be involved with any kind of diagnosis whatsoever at all. It can be kids that are just going through some anxiety, some PTSD, ADD. It's any number of things.
Well, and we've seen a lot of kids that, like, their parents are deployed.
Yeah.
That's a
And
really,
what? I'm sorry. Could you
They're
repeat?
deployed.
Deployed.
Deployed,
Okay. Okay. Great.
yeah, if they're deployed, if they're unemployed. I mean, there's so many things that affect kids. And my whole thinking in starting this was, at some point in everyone's life, you're going to go through a trauma. And you're going to have to deal with it and get through to the other side.
Right.
And by learning how to handle a 1,200-pound animal, you learn critical thinking. You have to think quickly. You have to learn how to handle that big animal. It
Right.
teaches you how to get through tough times.
You know, Kathy, I was looking on your website earlier, and I did notice that, you know, one of the benefits to, you know, these children coming out to your farm is, like you were saying, it teaches them discipline, it teaches them responsibility, and it's overall a great experience for them. Do you find that you guys have a lot of 4-H students that come out there also, or maybe Scout students?
We have a lot of scouts come out and do projects for us.
Okay.
Um,
For Eagle Scout, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, Eagle Scout projects. I mean, they've done everything from building wash bays for the horses to building a what do you call that booth they just built?
Yeah, broadcast
A broadcast booth up at our big arena.
Oh, nice.
We don't have a covered arena, or we could do things all year long, but that's like $127,000. So no, we haven't gotten there yet. Probably never will, but that's okay. To be honest, and you know, people have all different thoughts about this, but my thinking in doing all this was, I'm letting God lead me. Wherever He leads me with this is where I'm going. And our whole board of directors has that same kind of thinking. We just want to be a service program for kids.
Nice. Nice.
Right. You were asking about 4-H and groups like Scouts and so forth. We have a volunteer trainer or coaching team, or what we call mentors. Basically, they are a number of different backgrounds and disciplines. Many of them have a healthcare, medical background. Myself, I'm a neurophysical therapist, or just retired from that. And we have nurses, we have other therapists, we have
special ed teachers.
Yeah, special ed teachers, clinical social workers that have worked with these kinds of kids. And so they have that diverse background. But in addition to our adult coaches, we also have what we call a junior team. And these are kids from 14 through 17. And many of them have a background of scouting or 4-H and so forth, and have achieved some level of horsemanship there too. So,
and they help with the session. So it's one coach, one junior team member, a horse, and a child, and that's how it's set up.
Sounds like you guys have a pretty well-rounded out program there, and just things are, are very well planned, I guess, and for a great positive experience for the children and people that come out there. Kathy, you did mention earlier that sometimes it's hard to get people interested in the equestrian realm of things. So we've actually have a listener on right now, Jenny, and DJ. Can you throw her comment back up there again so they can see it? But Jenny here says her daughter has been participating in equine therapy. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, equine therapy for almost 5 years, and she says it's an amazing experience. And I mean, when you get an endorsement for someone like Jenny, I know Jenny personally. I mean, that's really saying something. What would you guys say, or how would you encourage others to become involved in this particular therapy in your particular farm in general?
Well, we have a volunteer application on our website. You may have seen it, and we love our volunteers, and we use them all year long. They'll come out and rake the leaves or help build a fence or whatever. But we strongly encourage people to come out, and you don't have to know anything about horses. I mean, you don't have to have horse knowledge to go out there and paint a fence. So you really don't have to have horse knowledge to go muck out a stall. You may not want to do that job, but we need people to do everything. In fact, cleaning the office is something that if somebody doesn't like outdoors, they can clean the office. That's a big thing to do. Just we took the old house that was on our farm and made it into our offices, and we live in a newer house.
Nice.
So it's just constantly a big job. Oh, she says that her daughter has ADHD and scoliosis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that's the perfect situation for us to help that type of a child. And if she's had her child in equine therapy, she knows what an amazing experience it is.
Nice.
Yeah, and Jenny, I see your post too. That's interesting that you've had that experience to begin with. One of the things that we do a little bit differently than some organizations, as well as not bill insurance and so forth, is that the core of our therapy horses are rescues. We're regionally recognized, and we're associated with the National ASPCA, but we do equine rescue, and we work with law enforcement and several agencies around western Missouri and eastern Kansas, and our horses are rescued. They come through a number of different backgrounds, but one of the things that we found is that once a horse has gone through some neglect or abuse and been completely cast away by humans, once they bond again and they're retrained, they work as wonderful therapy partners. They bond with the children very quickly and can become very instrumental in that training process.
Right now, horses, as I understand, it's built into their nature to be work related and work to have a purpose, I guess, is really what I'm trying to say. And so I think it's fantastic that you guys take a horse that would normally be, for lack of a better term, and it's not meant to be an incentive put out the pasture, but to give that horse another purpose in life and a second chance, and to just kind of to help a child in need as well. I mean, I think that's fantastic. So kudos to you guys for that.
Thank you.
Now, as far as the horse rescue part of it goes, and I did hear you mention ASPCA. Do you guys, is that funded just through donor funds, or is that help funded through ASPCA, or how is that funded?
No, in fact, I'm a volunteer. I work with the legislative engagement team with the ASPCA nationally. Strictly volunteer. I'm not a paid staff member, but I've been involved with working with their national legislative team for about 3 years now. and we're trying to work to improve equine welfare and safety legislation. We're trying to end unnecessary horse slaughter in the United States and transport out of country for slaughter. And there are several different initiatives on the table. So I work with, we're in the 5th Congressional District. I work a lot with Congressman Cleaver's team, work with both of our state senators in discussing issues as they come before Congress for legislative consideration. So I'm in the middle of some of that right now as a new Congress engages. But no, we're not financially involved whatsoever at all. We do work with them in terms of their rescue and adoptive program, but that's strictly on a volunteer basis.
Okay.
We are funded by writing grants. I write a lot of grants. They're tough to write, and it's tough to get the funding from them. We do Facebook fundraisers.
Okay.
We just really count on people to come alongside us and help us out when we need hay. We have a farmer that's local here that gave us 70 round bales of hay.
Oh wow.
That's just a huge gift.
Absolutely.
And people do things like that for us, and that's how we get through. That's
Nice. Now,
how we do it.
Kathy, and if you mentioned this earlier, I apologize. It's my understanding, are you guys a 501c3 organization?
Yes, we are. Yes.
Okay, so the reason I asked that is obviously, here we are, we're 4 days away from the end of the year. There are a lot of people that are looking for ways to do their end of year giving. They're looking for opportunities to, and tax breaks. I mean, let's call it what it is. Yeah, I mean, tax break, but I mean, it's also
something of interest.
It is something of interest. What's the best way for people to get funds to you by midnight, December 31st?
Go to our website, ohfkids.com.
Okay.
And go to the donate now, and it's a PayPal donation, and it comes straight into our account. That's the quickest way to do it.
Awesome. And if someone were, go ahead. Did you have a
No,
question?
I didn't. Go ahead.
If someone were to do that, I mean, do you send out the email, like a donation receipt electronically and that also?
Yes, and they will get a written donation receipt in the mail, in the USPS mail.
Okay, great. We're going to throw your website up on our comment section here.
Okay.
So, DJ Whiteout, if you could throw that up there in the comment section also. And that way, throughout the show, people will be able to, see where they can donate, and they'll also be aware of you. And then for our viewers who are watching later on, we encourage you to donate to this organization. These people are doing great things, not just for the horses, but they're doing wonderful things for these kids also that are in certain situations. Kathy and Bob, if you guys had to sum up in just a short statement about what you want people to know and what you want people to get, like, I guess some people might call it an elevator speech. I'm not a big fan of sales talk or whatever, but just if you were talking to, let's say you and I had never met before, and you were just telling someone about what you do and how they could best help, how would you guys sum that up for us?
Goodness. Oh yeah, he's going to throw me under the bus. Oh gosh. There are so many kids that fall between the cracks in schools, not through any fault of the schools, but in schools, in life. And I was one of those kids that fell between the cracks in school, and I know how it feels. And sometimes you need a hand up just to get through.
Right.
And that's what we're doing. We're trying to give these kids a hand up so that they can succeed in life.
Awesome. Kathy, I love the way you phrase that, as in a hand up. That is such a great way to phrase something and to explain to people that, you're trying to help people get back where they need. You're trying to help people recover both mentally, physically in some situations. And, just like, Jenny's comments here, I mean, her daughter, she has been the recipient of, someone, she's been a benefactor of organizations such as yourself. So I think that it's amazing what you guys are doing.
Absolutely.
Chuck, and if any of your audience knows kids that are in the foster program, work with the state Division of Family Services, we work a lot with foster kids.
Great.
And some of these kids come to us in some pretty tried situations. Many of them won't even talk or look an adult in the eye, and yet they get around a horse, and for the first time, they'll start talking with a horse. And that's the first connection that they have to talking to an adult after some time. So,
right. And animals are very therapeutic. You know, when it comes, you know, I mean, we hear of dog therapy and cat therapy.
mhm.
I mean, you may have a kid that is afraid of a cat or afraid of a dog or something like that. Yet the horses are these majestic, beautiful creatures, and a child may stand in awe of it. But with you guys guiding them through, you know, communicating with it, and you know, just training it to or just be part of it. I mean, that's a great outlet. So thank you guys very much for coming on tonight.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Merry Christmas and have a wonderful New Year, you guys.
Great New Year.
Thank you.
All right, awesome.
Well, I'm bigger than. Oh, there you go.
There we go. Well, you're always the bigger star anyway.
Yeah,
So,
anyway.
you know, what can I say?
So
Yeah, hey, you know, want to thank Kathy and Bob for coming on the show tonight. And if you guys have any questions about, you know, getting in touch with them, reach out to them at their website, ohfkids.com. It's a great cause. I mean, you're helping multiple things out there. You're helping horse rescue, you're helping kids deal with PTSD and ADHD and things like that. And I just,
well, it's amazing because these kids have, you know, they see them on TV or you know, in the stores,
Mhm.
you know, as toys. But once they get up there, I mean, it's, if you see a horse for the first time, it's amazing how actually big that they look.
Oh, yeah.
Outside
Yeah.
of, you know, your TV screen, stores, like I said, and I'm not going to say docile, because but if you get an older horse that's been around for a while, they know how to handle themselves.
Mhm.
So that really helps with these situations, and I think they're doing a great thing by introducing that, and
Yeah.
and especially with underprivileged kids with on the autism spectrum.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Or like she mentioned earlier, you know, kids that, you know, their parents have been deployed. I mean, how
Right.
awesome is that? Because I mean, that's a whole nother level of PTSD to have your mom or your dad or
is.
both
It really
parents
is.
just kind of, you know, hey, Uncle
Gone.
Sam's calling you to call on duty, so you
And
got to
there's
go.
no preparation for it or anything. So yeah, those kids are definitely hit the hardest.
Yeah, awesome. So, you know, we definitely encourage you guys to get involved in whichever way you can. If you have questions about that, reach out to us and we can get you in contact with them.
Absolutely can.
Do check out their website, ohfkids.com. And I think we're just going to kind of move it along a little bit here and
Right on down the road.
right on down the road. So in this next spot, there are a lot of people that we have to thank about what's going on here with the Mac and Chuck
Thank you.
show.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But anyway, I think I'm funny. So, you know, so let's just kind of go into a little bit about how Mac and Chuck podcast got started. Okay, it actually started several months ago when you wanted to do a podcast,
yeah, I just felt like I needed an outlet
right?
to get some things out on a different medium that, you know, just going on Facebook Live. I mean, what kind of
Yeah,
Facebook would be like, don't like that, click, off you go.
right.
But I needed an outlet just to get a lot of things out, and preferred it to stay audio, but you know, with the times you have to progress.
Hey, we both have a face made for radio, so what can we say?
But I brought it to your attention. You got me what was needed. I sat on it for a little bit because I wasn't really quite sure how I wanted to attack it.
Mhm.
And I think with the next conversation about it that we had was kind of like, hey, thought about it. Wouldn't mind doing that too. Okay. How do we do it? You're the technical one. I'm not. I'm just like the comedic. What do they call those?
You're the pretty face behind them.
No, I'm the comic relief. There you go.
There you go. Does that make me the straight man?
Anyway, it's family show. We're just going to keep going here. But it kind of really progressed. It's really snowballed from you bringing up that you'd be interested to do it, you know, with you being the technical wizardry that you are, as opposed to my, was it sloth? I have no prowess whatsoever.
So you feel that maybe I kind of pushed you into a little more, just kind of
maybe not push me, but really had the, for lack of a better description, the equipment to do it.
Okay.
I mean, all I had was a microphone, a little, I don't even know what this
Which
thing's
we'll
called.
get into that here in a minute.
I don't even know what this thing's called. What's this?
Well, that's actually non-functional. So there's nothing going on with that
Okay,
right
but
now.
it looks like the thingy you gave me.
Yes,
I called it
it
a
is.
thingy.
It's actually an audio capture device. If
Okay,
you want to
thank
hand
you.
it to me, I'll show the folks it. There you go.
I want to play
There
Vanna.
you go. You get to play it. So basically, this is one of the things that we originally started. It's a Tascam recording device, and like Mac had said, originally the idea was to do audio only.
Right.
And so we were thinking, well, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? Are we going to do live? Are we going to do Memorex? Or are we going to do?
People don't know what Memorex
Hey,
is.
our people know what Memorex is.
It was the one where the guy sitting in front of the speaker watching his tie flap behind his.
Yeah, DJ Whiteout over here, he may not know the real Memorex
You know
thing,
what
but
Memorex
For the
is?
record, I do not know what Memorex is.
okay. See,
It's
well,
a generational thing.
it totally is. So, we kind of went back and forth about that, about, whether or not we're going to do live or pre-recorded and that. And why not do it live? Why not, do something
To see how bad we really suck.
Well, let me tell you something. The first couple shows that we did were terrible. We'll be honest with you, they sucked. There's no nice way to put it. The audio was terrible. The way that we were going to do it was undecided. There are
See, somebody's laughing. Already.
someone, yeah. So someone, it's really it's a challenge to figure out first of all how you're going to get started. Now, we have a friend of ours who does this. His name is Darren Yates.
Mhm.
Darren's been on the show, and Darren had been doing this for a while. And so I would kind of watch what he was doing. I would listen to his podcasts, and I follow a lot of other podcasters on YouTube as well. Most of those guys are doing things that are, Nancy says she does remember Memorex.
I do too, Nancy. So, I had to bring it up, but the younger generation, they're not as cool as us. So
Well,
I get it though.
I've got about 27 years on the one running the board over here, so it doesn't surprise me that he doesn't know Memorex.
27.
Yeah, I know, right? Hard to believe.
Times are changing.
27. When did he turn 27?
No, I have 27 years on
Oh,
him.
thank you for
Yeah,
clarifying.
yeah, no.
It's the old age.
Yeah, no, I had 27 years on him. So, we the discussion was had. Matt comes down to where I'm at, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think about us just kind of getting on and like we can jaw for something for about an hour or so?" And that's true, we totally could. So, but I kind of wasn't feeling it that night, so then we decided to run on a Saturday night, and that gave me a little bit of time to put some things together. And not only that, the audio technical. Now I can do video, I can do photography, but the audio stuff was really kind of new to me. And
It's Greek to me.
well, we'll get that all changed. But my next door neighbor, Chuck, which, I've got to give this guy mad props. He came over, talked with us, and quick plug for him. He and his buddy run a podcast, a YouTube channel called Mad Junker. Check it out. If you're into cars at all, check this guy out. They've got a lot of stuff that they're doing, some projects. He's working on a Maverick right now. It's a really cool machine. I actually kind of learned to replace the transmission with him.
No, you didn't.
Sort
you
of.
just watched.
Sort of. No, I was over there
Did you tighten the
manhandling
bolt?
that sucker.
No, you didn't.
Hey, oh yes, I did. Oh yes, I did. And I
Jeez.
felt it the next day. But so Chuck came over and helped us out. He had a couple extra pieces of equipment that we didn't have to do. We had some microphones that weren't working, things like that. And it was just really, it made me want to tear out what little hair I have on my head left.
That's why I wear a hat.
So yeah, well, I'm not far behind you, I don't think. Especially if I were to turn around, you look at the back of my head. No one wants to see that.
What would that light it'd be like?
It'd probably be a big white spot.
Yeah, I get it.
On
no,
the
I'm
screen.
right there with you. I totally get it.
Yeah.
We're just gonna pull this down a little further.
So, we set it up, listened to the show, have a couple of our friends listen to it, and the sound was absolutely terrible. Now, when you look at it from an audiophile point of view, which I'm not really an audiophile, but I do have kind of an ear for it.
Huh?
You do. Someone who really pays a lot of attention to music and to sound design and things like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So just in doing that, it was, oh man, was it
Atrocious?
frustrating. It was atrocious.
Okay.
It was frustrating
to
for
help you
me
find some adjectives
because
here.
yes, you are the color commentary. But in working with that, Chuck was able to teach us quite a bit, and we were able to start plugging different sound devices in. We finally decided to not record the audio separately from what we're doing live, when we can just pull the audio and everything directly from YouTube or directly from Facebook. We wanted to do a live show because we wanted to make it interactive. Would you say?
I have no idea what you just said. I'm just shaking my head like you do to be nice in a conversation.
You want people to engage, like Nancy and Angela here and Jenny. They're engaging. They're
Yes.
actually
Yes.
talking to us.
Engagement, good.
So the idea is for it to always be your show, not ours. We're just kind of
We're just
Co-
mouthpieces.
we're co-facilitating things here, and
You're using these big words tonight.
hey, you
So
know what?
proud of you.
I've got some education,
Education.
some education. I is educated.
Yeah. See.
So we're just trying to bring a quality show to you, and we are always going to welcome feedback, positive, constructive.
I
However,
like how you said positive, constructive,
I don't like to use the word negative because it's just
helpful.
helpful. There you go. It can be very discouraging. And in the beginning,
He has no skin. I have skin.
it was discouraging because there are many things that I am a perfectionist on, and then there are some things that I think can slide. But
This is not one of those things you can let slide, is it?
no, it's
Because
not.
what was that DJ Whiteout 2 weeks ago where he's pulling what little hair he had out, walking around here trying to get the sound fixed?
Yes,
That was entertaining. He's like, here, take the show off.
I can promise you that
What do I do?
the cheery face you see right now was
Was
not
not
the cheery
cheery.
face. No.
Look for one of those big frowny emojis.
Yeah. So, we want to bring the show to you. So we had some sound design issues, we had some equipment issues. We had, and then we decided to take it
And your
video.
favorite, we had wire issues.
I hate wires. I cannot tell you how badly I hate wires.
Oh, give him 5 minutes. You bet
And-
you can.
Yes. And one of these days we may talk about the bus people, but I hate wires just about as much as I do, riding the bus, which
There's
this one
bus
can attest to
riders,
that.
and then there's bus people. We'll clarify one day.
Well, there's commuters and bus people.
oh, commuters. Excuse
Commuters, yes, and we'll cover that some other show. But anyway, so then we decided to take it video. Okay,
me.
so
Oh, that was rough.
the first couple times we did audio, and then so now we're going to work into some video, and of course, coming with video always comes with lighting,
Grooming.
grooming, which, as you can see, neither of us have done in a little bit. But hey, it's a podcast, and you know what? We're running the show here, right? Well, actually, DJ Whiteout's running the show
Yeah, he
over
could
there.
turn us
But
off at any time.
he could.
I think you guys have slowly kind of been getting all this down to a science,
Oh,
and I
listen to
feel
this.
like towards the end of the year, I think this is a really good way to close it off with you guys.
He's trying to get paid.
Whenever we first came in here, it was a lot of dancing around, moving
Right.
around, plug this in, plug that. But now we're getting a lot more honed in and just sitting down and doing it, which is a really good thing.
Well, thank you.
Listen to that.
Hey, that's a nice endorsement.
He's pining for money.
He's trying to get money.
I
He's-
get it.
He's trying to get
Nice
money
try,
from us.
though.
So, but the bottom line is thanks to some encouragement from our friends,
Mhm.
and thanks to some encouragement from some people that we watch on YouTube. And Darren, man,
It's
thank
all
you,
about
brother.
learning. It's all about
You know,
learning from each other.
it is about
like we've
learning.
said, what, a couple weeks ago. It's not really a competition. We're all just trying to do our thing, get it down to the best we can. Some people have it down more than us, but we're what, 3-4 months into this?
Not even that. We're like
No?
2.5 months,
Are we?
if that. Yeah.
So
So,
We're trying. Stick with us. We'll
Yeah.
get better.
yeah. And the biggest encouragement was when I would express frustration, I would get encouragement from Mac here that, says, hey, you know what? It is frustrating, but we're going to get there. I would get encouragement from my son over here who's running the board, hey, we're going to get there. And then, Darren was like, hey, he's like, it's all learning. Yeah,
Yep.
Everything you have is all learning. When you mess up and things are bad, it's all learning. You're going to
It's an
get there.
experience. Learn from it.
Just keep pushing.
Yep.
And so that's what we want to do. We want to keep pushing. We want to encourage you guys as well to push us. Don't hold back. Let us know what you've got to say. Give us feedback. If you think a segment just really blew chunks, tell us.
We
Say
won't do that again.
Yeah, we'll mark it off. There have been quite a few there's been quite a bit of feedback I've gotten, like our intro, for instance. You know, I see you, Nancy.
She's under the commuter column,
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yes, yes. But we do take your suggestions and we do take your proposals, and like our intro, shorten it down. Some people felt it was a little too long, so we want to make that a little shorter. The counter, want to put a counter up there a little bit, a little bit longer, so people have time to come on. They can
Gives me
see that we're
something to
going
dance
in.
to.
Yeah, be thankful we turn the cameras like off when he's up there dancing.
It's me.
So, but see what we got here from Angie. And seriously, that's awesome. For real, it looks like you guys are way further along than just 2 months. Well, thank you.
Is that what you
Appreciate
call
that.
buttering up the hosts? You're
Hey.
not getting any money either.
He's the money worry guy. I don't worry about money because I got no money, so I don't have to worry about
I don't
it.
either, but I still worry about it.
Well, that's true.
As Adam Sandler says, I like money. I have a little. I'd like to make more.
So thank you, Angie, for the compliment. We appreciate that.
Very much.
And any feedback you guys can give to us, we're definitely open to it. Even tonight, 5 minutes before we go on, 10 minutes before we're going, we're getting the squelching noise.
That was loud.
That was loud. So we're still ironing some bugs out, but we're working on getting better, and we're getting better for you guys.
But you know what? Where do we start out when we first started? At an hour and a half? You're okay. I shouldn't say we. He's running around here like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to get everything perfect. Because why? That's him. But we're down to what?
20 minutes.
If that now?
Yeah, it took us 20 minutes earlier. So
it's really improving, and maybe one day we'll just get to the point where I can just sit my butt down in this chair and go live.
yeah, wait till I get sick and he's got to do it on his own.
I can do it.
Might get a pre-recorded show that night, folks.
Oh, listen to you, smarty pants.
I'm kidding, of course.
No, he's not.
No, I've got a smart guy here next to me. That's why he's sitting here next to me. And no, the one right here. He's smart too. Kid's got some chops on him. But
No, he's
this
not.
guy
He
here
doesn't have
sitting
any
next to me,
sideburns.
because he's a smart guy. He catches on, and we got a great rapport. So of course, when you know someone for over 30 years, I guess that kind of happens.
3/4 of your lifespan.
Oh man, yeah, that's a long time. So
Okay, I'm out.
Kathy, thank you so much. We appreciate the compliment, and you are welcome for the opportunity for coming on.
It's a great thing to share. Why wouldn't we want to?
Right. Which that kind of leads us into our next segment. I guess we're calling them segments now, right?
Well,
Like we can call them
is that
segments.
official?
I think so.
Ooh,
I think so. We can actually call them segments now.
wow.
So I think that
With segments come commercials. With commercials come money.
maybe
Oh.
at some point
Am I
we'll
getting
get
ahead of
there.
myself?
We'll get there. Tell you
Ahead
what,
of myself.
one of the best ways for us to monetize, and I'll throw a quick plug in there. It doesn't cost you guys anything at all. If you could share us across Facebook and share us across YouTube, that will actually help us monetize and give us a little more recognition. And it doesn't cost you guys
It
anything
just
at all.
cost you what? 10 seconds of your time.
10 seconds of your time.
The
So
best 10 seconds of your life.
yeah. So right after it's over tonight, stay tuned. Don't go away right now. Wait till it's over.
It's not
Uh,
over yet.
Share us just kind of across the board. Share us on your Facebook page. For the most part, the show is always family friendly, so you don't have to worry about anything along those lines. But that's the best way to kind of help us out right now. Eventually, we're going to look at maybe some sponsorships, within the next year or so, once we have things, kind of smoothed out a little bit, and we can, really get some great content.
Nobody wants to be on a show with squelching.
Right.
Yeah.
That is true. Which
Well,
thankfully we got the squelching
The
taken care
squelching
of
show is
tonight.
brought to you by nobody.
This is all us. This is all us tonight.
Pretty much.
So, leading into that, I guess we can kind of talk a little bit about, what the coming year is bringing, and just like what do you
Hopefully
see
not a
for the
repeat
show?
of this year.
Oh man,
No, we don't. No more 2020.
no,
I don't want that kind of vision anymore.
right. I think it's time for 2020 to go bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
not only
December
that,
32nd. Yeah. No.
yep. I think I did see new calendars out there that didn't
You
have a
shut your
January
filthy
on there,
sword.
you
Shut
so
your mouth.
I think that was the Mayan calendar though.
No, that one ended in 2012. Remember?
Right. Gotcha.
Oh no, they introverted the numbers. We're screwed.
So,
But new ideas. And again, please give us ideas that you're thinking of. We might not. We're just like throwing out stuff on a weekly basis. Go, how does this sound? Yeah, let's run with it.
Right.
But stuff that interests you. Like we brought up serial killers. Ideas. We've got a few, gotten some feedback already before the show started. Let's see where it takes us. Let's see if we want to do. I mean, everybody knows the national ones, the most well-known murderers, people that hide dead bodies under their porch, things like that. But are there really
Clown
some
paintings?
what? But are there really some that are closer to us that may hit a little bit more closer to home? I know of one from family members. The guy went to their church.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was amazing hearing that. I mean, I heard stories about this guy and how he seemed a little off, but nobody really ever thought of anything.
Mhm.
We'll get into that. But is there some local ones?
Just some local stories, local
Right,
lore, things
right,
like that.
right.
Yeah. So, and those are kind of some of the things we're talking about, different topics. And maybe that's not everybody's cup of tea, but that's not where the show is going specifically, but it's something that we've talked about,
It's
something
just a
that people,
topic of a show.
right.
What we're trying to diversify as many different areas as we can and really try to grab a lot of thoughts and ideas from different interests. I mean, I could sit here and talk sports for 3 hours, but who does that really benefit besides me? Maybe a couple people.
Well,
but
there'll be people out there who want to hear sports. And while I'm not a sports aficionado,
yes,
you know.
dumpster fire is correct.
so, I'm not a sports aficionado, but I can definitely chime in here and there, about
Yeah, baseball
some
been
things.
very, very good to me.
So, we want to hear what you guys are wanting to do. And we also want to hear what you want to hear about, what topics interest you. We do want to get to some more substantive stuff, substantial content. Just whack me in the back of the head when I can't get it out. So, he's taking that literal, folks.
Oh, I will.
So, just let us know what you want to hear about. We've got a couple leads that we're going to, and let us know what you don't like also. We want to know if we're talking about something that's maybe not a hot topic. While we probably will talk about.
Here's an idea. Challenge us. Make us do the research on what you're interested in.
That's a great idea.
I challenge you next year to do that. Come up with an idea and we're like, never heard of that before. Let's hit the notepad.
Right.
Make us do stuff like that so we engage with you. That causes the engagement between us and the audience and the people who watch.
And I think the biggest point of that is also, as far as engagement goes, is not only do we want to hear about what you have to say, we want you to have a platform
Absolutely.
to say what you've got to say also. So if
we can credit people saying, hey, this person said this, let's take a look.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the big board.
Yeah. So Nancy says she's looking forward to spending time with her family face to face, as well as the Norwegian Society of St. Louis being able to gather together in person again. Nancy?
I think everybody could second that one.
Yes. Yeah. Nancy, I can actually remember you saying, I think it was either the last show or show before last, about the Scandinavian or Norwegian ancestry of your family.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you guys want to be on the show and that's something you want to talk about and you'd like us to dedicate a show to that,
I could sit there and talk about that with my Scottish heritage. I can do that.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we could do a show on heritage. We could do.
There's an idea right there.
Right.
Thank you. See, Nancy, that's what we're talking about.
See, we're working here. We're working
here.
So, and that's the other thing too, is we want you to be on the show. Some of you, maybe that's not your cup of tea. We can always patch you in through video.
Audio.
Yeah. Or audio. Or if you just want to sit there and look pretty for a couple of minutes, we can look pretty with you also.
No, we can't.
Might not be.
Don't lie to these people.
Okay. All right. So
take the hood over my head and call it. It's your show. Go for it.
But that's what we're looking forward to next year, is making it your show. Will we talk about politics? Maybe some.
Oh, some people don't want that.
Will we talk about religion? Maybe some. Maybe not so
I think
much.
there's a lot. Even if you're not a religious person and don't believe, there's some decent discussion, not yelling, that can come from that.
Right. And in the vein of that statement, that's something that we always strive for on our show. And you will notice that both Mac and I will say, look, either forgive our ignorance or this isn't meant to be rude, but we don't know about some things.
Right.
Educate us.
Mhm.
That's really the primary focus of what we want this show to be, is an educational tool that is met with respect, dignity, and class, and just that we can all have a conversation.
Well, to
And-
the guest, I don't have to do it to you, right?
No,
Okay.
that's never going to happen. It hasn't happened in 30 years, so
Okay.
it's not
Well,
going to
that-
start
no,
today.
just as long as I know this going in, I can prepare myself.
Right.
And it's 35 years, just so.
You got to twist that knife a little bit,
Twist the
don't you?
knife, pig.
Man,
35.
with
8th grade art class.
Mr. Ward, right?
Yep.
Yep. Here in good old Granite City. Coolidge Braves, go.
You better watch. You're gonna get hit.
Did
You
I-
have to like cover up the branding
Well,
there.
tonight's drink is brought to you by Hit and Run.
Oh, you're getting sued.
I'll always promote those
You're
guys.
getting sued.
They've got some. Why would they sue me for doing something nice for them? Go to Hit and Run. Those people deserve it. They're great people.
Tip your waiters and waitresses, folks.
I will say, I have been shopping at Hit and Run my whole life, and whenever I finally got a car, I still shopped there for about a good 3 years, and I did not know that you are supposed to tip the drive-through
Oh,
people
yeah.
at all. No one's mentioned anything to me. No one said anything about it at all.
Kind
And I
of
spent
wretch are
3
you
years.
raising over here?
I spent 3 years of my life just saying thank you and taking off.
Well, here's the
And-
real kicker.
and then you never wore your soda. Is that what you're saying?
His mom used to work there, so you would think that, she would have
You would
imparted
think
that
she
bit
would
of
say
wisdom.
something at least.
That's the ultimate embarrassment right there.
I'm telling you. So, it's Nancy's threatening to put us away. So, but we're trying to make it your show. That's what we're doing. And while the last 2 months have been challenging for us, that's what we like. We
Mhm.
like challenge. I like the way that
Well, a perfect example is the holiday show. There's a lot I didn't know about Hanukkah. Nothing I knew about Kwanzaa.
Right.
So you're being challenged to actually do the research, listen to it, so we can be somewhat prepared. It's about preparation as well.
Right. And again, education. I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because the fact that I think, and this isn't meant derogatory or anything like that, but going into Kwanzaa, like you said, you had no clue. You really didn't understand it
I
at
know.
all.
Well, I mean, when we went to school, it was still fairly new.
Right.
They didn't teach it. I mean, they might have mentioned it, but outside of that, it was more of just a brief mention. Everything,
Right.
everything was based on Hanukkah and Christmas, obviously.
Right.
I mean, but I went to Catholic school for 4 years, so
Well, and the thing of it also is that, we were brought up in a certain culture where other cultures were not taught. And so for us to come out of that show with a good, solid understanding, and, I want to thank you to Mr. Donald Kelly for joining us on that show and educating us about that,
Mhm.
and taking time out of his schedule to educate not just Mac and I, but to educate you guys.
Mhm.
That's what this show is about. It's education. It's about respect, and it's about just learning from one another and learning from you. Hopefully you guys learn from us, and we will learn from you as time goes on. And I gotta give a shout out to Jeremy. Jeremy, we appreciate you guys, you coming on to the show and tuning in this evening. Appreciate you taking some time out of your Sunday to do that. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about the new year. I think we're going to.
you're not alone there, DJ Whiteout. Apparently, other people don't think about tipping at Hit and Run.
Yeah. So see, more
Please
education.
tip your local server.
You know that now, right?
It's kind of like the car hops at Sonic.
You're supposed to tip them.
Oh, you're not supposed to tip those guys, are you?
Oh, jeez, I'm screwed.
Oh, you guys got some bad juju coming your way for sure. So
No, 2020 is the bad juju. I got worse juju coming my way.
yeah, well, and I will say this, that 2020 it's been both a challenging year, and it's been an educational year, and it's been a rewarding year for myself, and I'm sure for other people as well. I've learned a lot about mankind, to be honest with you. I've learned a lot about uh, other cultures. I've learned a lot about um, different sociological classes of people. And I've really been educated this year. And I've seen a lot of good and I've seen a lot of bad. And the best I can do is take the bad that I've seen and learn not to repeat it and not to do it. And the most I can do with the good is be encouraged by mankind and be encouraged by people to know that there are people out there that care. There are people that are good-hearted people, and just sometimes you have to see that in people also. And I
So,
think it was Fred Rogers who said that where there's disaster, look for the people helping.
is that the part where you play the? Was that the violin portion of the show?
I didn't have any music queued up for that
No,
part.
you didn't, obviously, because you just start thinking, oh, I'm depressed now.
We'll be happy. It's almost over. I mean, there's not going to be like a magic switch that goes on, but what have you learned this year, Mac?
Well,
Think of a positive experience you've had this year that you've learned something.
I've learned how, and my own personal situation, I really haven't learned a lot of positivity,
Mm-hmm.
but I've learned how insensitive people can really be. And I say that based upon them worrying more about what you're doing as opposed to how they conduct themselves.
Okay. And how do you think you'll take that information moving forward and use it?
I can't say that it's a family show.
Yeah, no, okay. All right. That's honesty.
It is honesty.
That's honesty.
That's what you're going to get. Sometimes it's brutal, but it's honest.
Hey, you know what? Honesty, it's always good to be honest with those who
Isn't that a
are.
Billy Joel song?
Yes, and
Yes.
I will refrain from singing.
We appreciate that. I tried to bait you into it. Good.
You tried.
Good.
You
Good job.
tried.
Good job.
You sure did try. That was a noble, valiant
Yeah,
attempt
that-
as well.
It was. I
It
really-
failed, but nice try.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh.
Oh.
So
That's not copyrighted, is it?
it may have fallen in public domain now. I don't know. Jeremy,
Yeah,
what have you got? Jeremy says he's learned perseverance in life. And that's good, Jeremy. And I know from what mindset you're bringing that from,
Mhm.
and that's probably something I've learned as well, is to persevere. One of these days we'll get into some personal stories, and you guys will learn some things about Mac and I both that we've struggled with in the past. And this year has definitely been
I don't think in my
a-
case perseverance just applies to this year.
yeah.
It's applied to quite a few.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. And we will share those stories with you. We want to connect with you, and we want you to share those stories with us. So please keep a watch on us on Facebook. Make sure that you're tuning in every Sunday. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, go to
The button.
hit subscribe. And the best way to get there right now is to go to macandchuck.com. That will actually redirect you to our YouTube channel.
Do it, board operator.
And that will get you to the YouTube channel. Subscribe, please share it all over the place. And that way we can share your stories with more people. We can share our stories with more people. And then
Get money to spend on equipment, right?
told you he's gonna be the money guy. So it's
Greed is good. Oh, no.
thank you. What was his name? Oh, Gordon
Gecko.
Yes, Gordon Gecko. Yes. So you're going to hear a lot of 80s references on this
Ton.
podcast as well.
Ton.
So you'll hear 80s and 90s references.
Some 90s.
Early 90s.
Very early.
Early 90s, yeah. So share us, watch us, help us out. Help us make our show
Better for you.
better for you. That's ultimately right there. So Jenny, thank you. Jenny says she enjoyed the show
Thank
tonight.
you very much.
And speaking of show progressions, we've actually added DJ Whiteout on the show. We've given him his own mic, and
It's only out of necessity. Don't blow the kid's head up.
well, I think that his generation might have something to say. So we'll find out.
My head is of right proportion.
Smooth. Very smooth.
We'll need to throw a camera on him, and we'll let you guys decide that.
You better be careful. He's going to start crunching pork rinds on his microphone.
He's
My
gonna-
head is of okay proportion.
There you go. That's a little better.
There you go. So I think with that, folks, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Mac, you got any closing thoughts for us?
Closing thought, closing request. if you go out Thursday night, have a plan.
Yes.
Stay safe. Stay where you are.
Yes.
I don't care about the restrictions on people and all that stuff. I can care less. That you're grown people. You can figure that out on your own. But for God's sakes, please don't drink and drive.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Stay safe in multiple ways. And because we do want to see you back here. We love you guys. And I know everyone says that all the time, but it's a special kind of love that we have for you guys and not for you.
I'm more concerned about the special. Don't you say it. Don't you say it. You say you have a special kind of love for me. I'm getting out of here.
So, but anyway, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. macandchuck.com, facebook.com/macandchuck.
Subscribe. Have a great new year. We'll catch you on the flip.
And I think with that,
We're
we out.